Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott Solembrino, the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Director of the Global Business Travel Association, broadcasting live from GBTA Calgary, our Western Canada Conference. And with me today is my old friend, Tony D Astolfo from Serko. Tony, what's going on, brother?
It is a pleasure to see you,
Glad
Scott.
to see that you made it up here to Canada.
I'm very excited about it.
Don't you love Calgary? Oh,
Yeah,
I can't. The people could not be nicer.
So
right?
far, I could see phenomenal event, a great venue. You guys have done it up really nicely. So kudos.
We
to the
broke
whole
a record
team.
for this event.
I'm not
We have
surprised.
more people here than we've ever had, and we are thrilled to be here in Calgary.
That's good. Glad to be here as well.
There is so much going on in travel tech, and you are the go-to guy for all these tech trends for so many years, more years than we want to remember, brother.
True.
Tell me what you think people should be paying attention to right now in travel technology.
Well, there's a lot of things. I'm gonna go with two. I'm gonna tell the first one really fast because everybody's focused on it, and that's content. So the fragmentation of the content, the NDC, all of the kind of plumbing that's coming out. But that's not my favorite. My favorite is actually personalization and artificial intelligence. I think we're starting to finally see it impact the way people experience travel. Small example. And again, shameless plug for my company, but we actually import a little bit of personalization into the tool. Very early days, but if someone's booked a trip, we'll remember where they booked. And then the next time they come in to say, are you going back? We recognize the fact that they've stayed with one particular airline 5 times in a row. And then we'll present that airline first. So early days, but I think it's making a big difference in the traveler experience, and it's one that I think everybody at the conference should be focused on.
When you look at AI coming through the marketplace now, do you anticipate all the call centers going away or all go to AI?
No. I think what they'll do actually is enhance the experience through the use of AI. So they'll know a little bit more about me when I call in.
Yep.
They'll know why I'm calling in, and they'll get in front of the problem versus pass it off to a chat. A chat experience.
Well, and a guy like me who travels every week, like you travel every week too, right? We're tired of answering the same questions over and over again, no matter who you're calling, right?
Exactly.
So to me, if anything can make my life easier and that booking process shorter and more focused on me, it's a good thing. It's a good development.
That's what I think AI will do, and that's what it is doing right now.
And you're feeling it already coming to market.
Absolutely.
It's been a phenomenal year. I mean, we have the best economy in the history of economies in the U.S.
Yes,
I mean, there's no question about it.
Yes,
Other people like it, don't like it, it's irrelevant. People are printing money and having a great year. When you look at how well the economy's doing, how is that affecting traveler engagement right now for people on the travel side and satisfaction?
Okay, so that's an interesting dilemma because, as you just said, I don't think I've flown on a plane that had more than 1 or 2 seats empty. So the system clearly gets stressed when that happens. But I think the airlines are doing a phenomenal job of being on time and of executing. Right, so I think we have the combination of heavy volume that traditionally would say people get kind of this is not great for me because I'm stuck in a middle seat, or it takes me a long time to board, or it takes me a long time to get my bag. So I think there is a little bit of that, but I also think the airlines have stepped up their game. All the customer sat surveys that I read, the airlines are doing better, and kudos to all of them. I just hope we have a reasonably good winner, because that will obviously create stress. But
well, I watched my buddy Oscar Munoz this morning at United. He had his earnings out this morning. They beat the earnings by a margin. And he basically said, as our stock goes up and as earnings get better, we're reinvesting because it's busier than it's ever been, even with the 737 MAX problem. Right now, in their case, unlike American and Southwest, which are impacted differently, right? But they basically said, we're moving forward. And last week, I watched Ed Bastian at Delta basically say the exact same thing, that the loads have never been this high. Everybody's doing well, making money, and it's such a rarity to see everybody in travel doing well at the same time. I mean, think of all the years when we were in the airline business, right?
Well, I was in the airline business for 20 years. There's no joke, 20 years, and we had a profit 3 of those years, and the highest profit we ever had was a 7% margin.
It's unbelievable.
So think about that. 17 out of 20 years, we did not make money. So it's great to see that the airlines and the industry is thriving. And actually, the pressure on the I don't think we're feeling the pressure. I think everybody's stepping up.
So there is so much data now available in the marketplace.
Too much.
Right? There's data everywhere.
Yep.
And data is only good if you know how to manage the data.
That is correct.
Travel buyers are feeling very overwhelmed about data. What are your thoughts on this?
So I tell them to start with breaking the data up into smaller chunks based on who is going to use it or benefit from it. So I think traditionally they've just been overwhelmed with, here's all my spend data, which is good for them. They need to know, who should I negotiate with? How should I get a better deal? Am I taking advantage of my contracts? But when you think about it and say, what does that do for the traveler? Not much. So if they take some traveler data, hey, this airline is performing really well. I'm getting customer satisfaction surveys from my travelers that say they like this. Okay, then I can use that to enhance my program. If I need some spend data that I'm going to sit down and talk to my boss about, right? Break that small data up and say, hey, boss, this is what I'm seeing. We're trending up here. We're trending down here. So I always say, manage. Look at who you need to deliver the data to or use the data for. Break it down into a smaller chunk, and then go at it.
You know, it's funny. Reggie from Cvent and I were having a long conversation about how we use data at GBTA, and we're going to a whole new data system for our conventions, so we'll be able to really know what people are doing, what they like, what they don't like. He said, always remember, once you have the data, that's not the problem. It's how you interpret the data and what analytics go behind the data and how do you use it. And I think that's what buyers are up against now, is they have every opportunity to get the data. Then how do you make it work for your program?
That's right.
And it's people like you that bring these opportunities to these travel buyers.
No, absolutely. And buyers have to think about all of their constituents. You know, their traveler is a constituent, their boss is a constituent, even their suppliers are constituents that they do business with, right? So it's understanding who their constituents are, what data they can use to make the relationships better, and then take a shot.
Well, it's always good to spend time with the very famous Tony D Astolfo here. I want to thank you for coming. And I'm Scott Solembrino, broadcasting live from GBTA Calgary. Please join us again soon.